and welcome back to Rolling the Robsons. Today we're going to talk a little bit about where we are in progress for getting this motorhome, because we've talked a few times about kind of changing over, and we've been to see a few. So to be fair, we went to Ropers, Caravans and Motorhomes, which is in Catterick, and I had a quick look around there. There were 3 6-berths we went to have a look at there, and we've been to see one 6-berth in Newcastle, a place called Bay Motorhomes. It does like hire vans, so a bit of an interesting one that one was. So we went there to see this 486, which I think 7 and a bit meters long. It is a double lounge. You've got like a front lounge and you've got a side, and then at the back you've also got a U-shape, well actually a U-shaped lounge, 2 single sort of benches, not single length to sleep on, but single benches. So I went there, quite liked it, humming hard about what we should do, but pretty usual for me. And then we got to the couple of days later and I was like, right, let's put an offer in. So I put an offer in and the guy came back and said it's sold. So it was on for 44, I think, I want to say. And when we were there, the guy was like, look, you'll take 42 for it, which I don't think was the world's worst offer. I mean, it was a ex-hire van, reasonable conditions. A couple of things that, because it was an Edge, it didn't have cab blinds. It didn't have an outside hatch to access any of the storage, which I think could be a potential issue, which is why we took our option today, because we obviously take, chairs, table, that kind of stuff for sitting outside, right? And if that's going to be a pain, you have to drag a thing inside all the time. So that was one of its little niggles. I've got a thing that didn't have a reversing camera, but nothing mega. But probably, to get all that done, probably about £1.5 to £2,000. So I put the offer in, the guy came and said it's sold. So it actually sold for 43,000, which was interesting because the guy, while we're there, saying, look, the bottom he's going to take is 42. So, I don't know, he told it to his friend for more money than he was going to sell to us. Well, that's by the by. That's not his fault. That's not anyone's fault, really. So, yeah, he decided it sold. Fair enough. We went to see 3 6-berths at Ropers. There was a Bailey 665, which is one I've seen before and I quite like. Again, same problem. Not very good for outside access because there was no outside access. And the 2 rears, which are probably where you would put stuff like rear seats, which are kind of lounge seats, both have stuff underneath them. I think one has a water tank and one has the heater, so not ideal. Not in the best condition, to be fair. The fact that it's been whacked at the front, but it had, instead of guys that were going to get it repaired, inside the wall was a big gap where there was like the wall, as Bailey's used like a plastic wall, and it had that a bit damaged. A few of the things where the seals probably needed redoing. So kind of again thought about that one. This was a 2017 for 40 grand. Thought, well, do you know what? It could make a good van, but it does need a lot of work doing it. So while we're there, we asked the guy to look, these things here, would they get done if you sold it? And he's like, yeah. Well, I forgot to say, actually, it also had, I don't think it was rust, but in between like the actual cab and the main body, at the top, there was loads of brown dirt coming down the front. So hopefully that wasn't rust. But anyway, thought about that one, thought, that could be a good van for us. Not perfect, but it could be a good van. It was low mileage. I think it had 13k on it. And then went to go and put an offer in. That one had sold as well. So as much as people are saying the market has cooled down, I think, it probably has. It's not cooled down to the situation where it makes it easy to buy vans because, there's 2 vans straight away that's sold. Interesting if anyone's put in the comments if they've done that, caravans or motorhomes, whether they're still selling pretty well. Again, the caravan market's been fairly subdued the past couple of years. I think people like Swift and Bailey even reducing their production because they can't sell them. Motorhome companies are doing the same, but it does seem that motorhomes are still selling a bit better than caravans. So the other options that were there at Ropers were a Sevio 675, which is like a got a big, massive overcab. It's massive, which has its good and bad points. Then it's got a side dinette. Then it's got a wardrobe on either side. It's not really what we would like personally, but it's got double bunks at the back. Reasonably nice van, but I thought for 2018, so this is what, 1 year older than the 2017, obviously, but 1 year older than the Bailey 665, it was, I think, 4 or 5 grand more. And I thought that's a lot of money. I mean, the Sevio was again a base model. It's not really like top of the range. So I wasn't entirely sure about that. And we weren't sure about where to sit. So great for sleeping, but 2 at the top, 2 at the back, and maybe me and Lucy in the middle or something like that, or vice versa. But the issue is that it's the dinette's not too bad, but it's not the biggest. And I'm not the biggest bloke. I'm probably about 5'10" on a good day, 5'9", 5'10", somewhere in that region. And I don't think easy you'd comfortably lie in that space. I mean, Lucy's a bit small at 5, 7, I think. So she'd probably be okay. But yeah, couldn't stretch her legs out fully. Yeah, again, nice in the van. Really good option. Reasonable inside. Not as light and airy as the other one. And then they also had an Eldest 196. Now, I've liked an Eldest 196 for ages. Never always been the biggest fan of Eldest for their issues with damp ingress, which I think apparently they've been doing work to fix on. But yeah, pretty good in terms of the looks and generally the price. This was a 2019, so again we've gone from 17 to 18 to 19. 2019 was 48 grand. And it had a rear bike rack on, which seemed good, but they put an extra bit of metal on, which I'm not sure was originally there. So looked a bit odd, but beautiful inside. I suppose one of the things we need to think about for all of them, one of the issues we need to think about all of them is that they all have the Ford / Peugeot 2 litre, which is a wet belt, which I think if it's being looked after and not too bad, obviously I know we get the injector problem as well, but if things are being done, they're pretty serviceable even. But they're, yeah, it's a lot of money, so that could go wrong. So that's where we're at with that. So there is one other motorhome. What was it? Another motorhome, forgot. We've been to Markwes, which is in Chelsea Street. No, it's not. Well, Markwes, which is claimed to be Chelsea Street, but it's really Burtley. So we've got one in Burtley. It's a 690. This is a Sevio 690. Quite low miles, under 20,000. It's on a Ford again. I do notice the Ford seats don't seem as comfortable as the Fiat seats, in my opinion. Again, massive overcab. Side dinette, wardrobe where we prefer a seat, but this has a big fridge freezer, which again the Swifts don't seem to have that, the Eldest don't seem to have that. I think it's useful for a family when we've got 5 of us. Huge. I mean, the garage is ridiculous. I'll see if I get the picture from Lucy the other day because I went to see it, and Lucy was laughing because I literally went in the garage and sat inside. It's colossal. I don't think we could fill it because we've only got 500 and something kilos of payload, so it's probably pretty tight when we put us all anyway. But the garage is absolutely monstrous. So anything you want to take, if you could, payload, there's not really an issue. It's just insane. And again, the storage on that's massive, which is interesting because both the Eldest 196, that's 7.4, I think. Then you've got the Swift 486, went to see, that's 7.29 or something like that, give or take. And then you've got the Bailey, which is the smallest of all the vans we've been to see recently, and that one was 7 metres long. The Sevio, in terms of general, how well the space is used, is massive. Sevio has a separate shower. The rest have a combined. And again, will we use separate shower loads? Well, I used to use it in the Bailey when we were on site that didn't have a shower facility. So I did used to use it quite a bit. So it's not like we wouldn't use it. Or even if we go somewhere a bit sandy and the girls want to kind of do a quick wash off, we'd probably use it for that as well. So that's where we're at. We haven't bought anything yet. We need to keep some money back because we're getting our front window done and door done. We've got this kind of fake bay window, which is great for space, and Lucy loves the space, but it's not very good for heat in the winter. It just seems to leak heat no end. So we're getting that replaced in the front door, which I think is about 4.5 grand that we need to keep back. There's only a few other jobs we need to do. We need to get a driveway done if we're getting a motorhome to sit in the driveway. We haven't got a proper driveway here. Well, we have a driveway, but the driveway is about 2.5 metres long. They clearly ran out of space when they're building them. So there's that. These two on the side, I'm probably estimating about 5 grand, maybe more. I don't know. Our fence is a bit rickety from many storms. We've kind of robustly fixed it for now. Our fences need repairing as well, and we're replacing really. We've robustly put a few extra posts in to sort it out, and it's a lot better than it was. But again, as soon as the weather comes, so that's a few grand. So we do have a reasonable amount of chunk of cash to go and buy a motorhome. We're not getting any debt, like I said. I refuse to have massive debt. I just think, again, the payments that you get, I get the idea. Maybe if I was buying a brand new one, I might put some of it on finance just because it gives that protection all the night measure here. If it's on finance, you can always turn around and say, look, the finance house, I don't want it. And they've got to get it sorted out. And then normally, when they try to get onto people like Bailey, Swift and the kind of dealers, things get fixed when big legal companies and companies that give all them the money start kicking off about things not being right. But apart from that, I probably wouldn't pay finance for anything, I don't think. So the options we've got are a Sevio 675, it's like the older version. We've got the Sevio 690, that's a slightly newer version, 2019. We've got an Eldest 196, which is an option, but a price of 48 grand I think is mad from Ropers, but it'll probably sell anyway. We have got one other motorhome, which is an older one, but it only a 2010, at Parkgate Leisure, I think it's called, near kind of Richmond, or sorry, in Catterick, near Catterick area. And that's a bit cheap. I think that's on at 24 and a bit now, but that doesn't have 5 belts, so we'd have to replace the front seat with that one, which I don't mind, but obviously then it just means that you can't easily get into the back, and it's a bit shorter, so I'm not sure what it would be like for storage. But we've got a few options. I mean, it's getting that time of year. I'm guessing as well the NEC's on in a few weeks' time, so there'll be some people trading in. Interesting, I think it's 2 guys, 4 wheels and 2 dogs. I think that might be the name. I apologise, I get that wrong. I've been saying about prices. I think they're going to come down a bit more because once that happens, they're going to struggle. Once everyone that gets rid of their motorhomes getting this time of year. I think the ideal for us at the moment, apart from the Ford bit, would be to hopefully find a Sevio 675, slightly newer model, because in slightly newer models, like that time 2019 onwards, they have a bottom double and a top double. So I think longer term that could be good, because we can put 2 at the top, we can put us at the other top, so there's 4, and maybe someone at the bottom, that's 5. And then when the kids get a bit older, as in maybe particularly if Maisie gets a bit older, because she's nearly 16 next year, I'm gonna have a couple of years with Maisie, then she can, we can kind of, if she doesn't want to come, we can put up the bottom bunk, and again we've got a huge garage like the 690 had. So that's our options. You know, we're talking 40 to 44 grand, which is a bit above what I want to pay 14 for anyway, and the other one's only at 25. All different mileages, you know, all got its positives, negatives. I wish I could get in to see the one at Parkgate Leisure, I think it is, but the guy never seems to respond. I did go and see a high mate ages ago, so maybe he thinks I'm messing about, because it hasn't got 5 belts, but it is an option if we can get to go and see it. So that's an update of where we're up to with choosing the motorhome. So like I said, we've got a Sevio 675, newer one, or that one at 2018. We've got the older van, which I think is a Movio C6, I think it's called, bunk beds at the back. That's a possible option. And yeah, we've got things along those lines. I don't think the Elders is probably in reach unless a cute one comes up. But I do think the market's moving a little bit, and I think as we get towards winter, there are going to be some deals to be had, because the dealers are going to want to get rid of their vans so they can get the new 2026 in. But that's our options. Again, comment below, what would you choose? And we'll see you in the next one.